Happy by Pharrell Williams has gone viral after the group was arrested. Iranian law bans women from dancing in public or appearing outside without a hijab, and none of the women had their hair covered in the video. Now, Tehran's police chief called it a vulgar clip which hurt public chastity. All but the director of the video now appear to have been released. One of the women posted a photo of herself on Instagram saying, "Hi, I'm back," but their arrests have sparked international criticism. Well, singer Pharrell Williams wrote on Facebook, "It is beyond sad that these kids were arrested for trying to spread happiness." And Iran's President Hassan Rouhani tweeted a quote from a speech he gave in June saying, "Happiness is our people's right. We shouldn't be too hard on behaviours caused by joy." The video coincides with another internet phenomenon. Young Iranian women have been posting photos of themselves outdoors, casting off their headscarves. Well, joining me to discuss all of this is Iranian blogger Potkin Azarmehr. Potkin, thanks very much for being with us. Lots to talk about. It seems to me that the message in its purest form is it's illegal to be happy in Iran. What's going on here?
Very much so. I mean, that's exactly the overwhelming message that I got following the Iranian cyberspace today. People were lamenting that what is going on, is there something wrong with happiness? Is happiness a crime? Should we be punished for just being happy and expressing joy? And it really is like that. Happiness and being joyful is not a quality that the Islamic Republic promotes.
But it's confusing, isn't it? Because Rouhani talks about the internet being an opportunity. He said that in a speech. And today he was tweeting something from that speech that he said earlier about happiness being the right of Iranians. Is confusion part of the strategy?
Well, I think last time I was on this channel, one thing I remarked was it's a nice window dressing for the outside world. If you imagine Iran being a shop, it's been nice window dressing for the outside world, but inside the shop is business as usual. And it really is that. It's a nice bit of window dressing for the outside world, but inside, this is the reality. And I've got to also say about Rouhani's tweets, I mean, his tweets are not written by himself. He has a team of people that are very PR savvy. They see, what appeals to the international public opinion and how to manipulate the international public opinion, and then they suggest things to him. And if he agrees, then these are tweeted. These are not personal tweets. I mean, in this case, they obviously realised the enormous publicity that this got, and for some damage limitation, they must have suggested to him that, why don't we put this quote that you made last year as an indirect reference to what you think, to make things better. But have note that if it wasn't because of this thing going viral and making so much international noise, these people would not have been released on bail today.
Yeah. And he probably wouldn't have been tweeting about happiness either, let's face it. So do you think that they expected to be arrested? Do you think they were surprised that happened?
Well, first of all, these people are not political activists, so they may have been a bit naive, but you also have to understand the whole methodology of the Islamic Republic. The way they operate is selective punishment. So they go after a few people and they hand out very heavy punishments, completely out of proportion with the offence, or offence in quotes, that they've made, and that scares the rest of the population, or they hope that scares the rest of the population. So you could have a blogger, for example, who gets away with writing things and might still be free, but a blogger who gets in prison and inside prison gets beaten up and gets killed. You might have some passerby talking to a reporter, criticising the regime, and nothing happens to him or her, but another instance where they'd be arrested. So it's sort of like selective punishment, and basically you take a risk, and I think these people, if they knew what the consequences could have been, then they took a risk between fame and the possibility of being arrested. It looks like this time they paid the wrong price.
Potkin, thank you very much for joining us with your analysis. Very interesting as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, in Brazil, a bus driver